session. Before we go to the actual session, I'd like to talk about the new batches starting from 19 January, that is tomorrow. These are from the top educators, top batches. Let us have a quick look. SSC CGL complete batch, SSC CGL and CHSL complete batch, SSC CHSL exclusive batch, AIM SSC CPO batch, complete batch on general studies, all SSC 2021 exams, SSC MTS exclusive batch, AIM SSC stenographer complete batch, Delhi Police Constable complete batch. There are two iconic features. One is Ask a Doubt by Unacademy, the other one, a raise hand feature. Both the features are very useful, and once you take the subscription, you can use those features. Let us have a look at Ask a Doubt feature. It is now available on Unacademy website for all our learners in SSC exam. We heard you and upgraded the Unacademy Ask a Doubt feature to suit your needs. Ask up to 3 doubts at a go, get solutions in your preferred language, submit your doubts through the Unacademy website or the learner application. That is your choice. These are test series for SSC aspirants. Many of them are free. You don't have to pay. All that you have to do, check the days and the time slots. Raise hand feature, again, it goes with those who take the plus subscription. Talk with your favorite educators in live class and clear your doubts. It is much better than offline. This is over. Hope you guys have taken. Subscription offers for the month of Jan. Use my referral code Murthy10, you get 10% discount. All set, let's crack it. Now we'll go to our actual session. But before that, I would like to talk about the offers, January offers. What are January offers? SSC, all users, 1 year subscription you take, you get 3 months additional. You take for 2 years, you get additional 6 months. Banks plus SSC combo offer, all users, you take for 1 year, additional 3 months. You take for 2 years, you get additional 6 months. This offer is valid 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, only for 4 days. Enroll now before the offer runs out. And do remember to use my referral code Murthy10. You get 10% discount. Today the questions are quite interesting. So, good evening. Good evening. I feel much better. So, quite challenging questions based on exam topics, grammar, 5 exam topics. I have brought 25 questions. Some of them are really very useful and challenging. Have a look at the first one and try to spot the error. The young man from Japan found the ascent of the mountain hard going. Where is the error? Oh, thank you very much, Shivam. Nice of you. I don't know whether I deserve that or not, but thank you very much. To what extent I deserve, I don't know, but I would like to thank you for that. The young man from Japan found the ascent of the mountain hard going. Here, hard going in the sense very difficult, an uphill task. Is this time okay for you guys? Which one do you prefer? 5 o'clock or 7:30? Just give the feedback, but try to spot the error. The young man from Japan, this context goes with mountaineering. Mountain, that is a clue for you. Based on that, the young men, plural, from Japan. The young men, nothing wrong. From Japan, a phrase, nothing wrong. Found something, the verb, nothing wrong. It is in the past. The assent, here, assent, this word assent means permission. He gave his assent, permission. But this context does not talk about that. It talks about going up. So, what should be the right word? Here it should be ascent. ASCENT, ascent. Exactly, that's right. Kosher. I have been telling you guys, first you have to spot the error. Where is the error? There is an error in the second part. That is one thing. After that, it is better to write the correct form, the correct word, the correct expression. If you write, that helps in consolidation. you will be able to remember. So there are two words that go with mountaineering. One is ascent, the other one descent. Ascent going up, descent coming down. Whereas he gave his ascent, that means approval. This has a different meaning altogether. So this is not the right word. Question is about inappropriate word. Inappropriate. It does not go with the context. Context is very important. Based on the context, we have to use the right word. Let us go to question number 2. They are a politically important family. One of his sisters is a minister, and the other is married with a minister. So where is the error? Oh, thanks for the feedback. Shalini says 7:30. I want others also to give the feedback. Which time do you prefer? 5 or 7:30? Question number 2, where is the error? They are, they are, nothing wrong with that. A politically important family, nothing wrong. Singular, indefinite article. A politically important family, a standard expression. One of his sisters is a minister. When you see the phrase one of, then you have to become alert. And there are three rules, all the three rules you have to recollect. And the noun in all the three rules, the noun is in the plural form. Based on that, one of his sisters, there is no problem. And we have to use a singular verb. He is a minister, there is no problem. And the other is married. The verb married, it takes a preposition to, not with. You're married to someone, married to. So, what is this question about? It is about preposition. Oh, or prepositional combination. Problem with the stylus. Question is about appropriate preposition. Is married to. It's a common error, perhaps married with, but with is not correct. It should be married to someone. And to is the appropriate preposition. Hope you guys got it. Let us go to question number 3. Knowledge of at least 2 languages are required to pass the examination. After every question, you should ask yourself, what is this question about? That helps in the long run. Knowledge of at least 2 languages are required to pass the examination. What is the subject over here? Knowledge. After that, you have a phrase of at least 2 languages. Always, writers, when they want to give more information, they try to use phrases and clauses after the subject. Never consider the phrases and clauses that add information to the subject. Put them in brackets. Then you ask the question, what is the subject here? Knowledge. Knowledge, singular. Can we use are? Simple answer, no. Based on that, knowledge is. There is a popular saying in English. I don't know how many of you know that. Knowledge is power. Have you heard of that? Knowledge is power. So here, knowledge is required. We cannot use a plural verb, we have to use a singular verb. Knowledge is required to pass the examination. And in this context, try to recollect there's a popular saying traditionally, knowledge is power. But today, what is power? Today also it holds good. Money is power to a great extent. But the popular saying, knowledge is power, we cannot deny that. Please go to question number 4. Every one of the films you suggested are not worth seeing. This is a little complicated in the sense you have to understand the context. Only then you will be able to. Oh, you have answered within no time. Every one of the films, but everyone, do we use that with films? Everyone goes with persons. It does not go with films. Yes, that is right. Who is this Kaushal? All the films, here we cannot say every one of the, all that you have to do, use all the films. You can use the also. All the films you suggested are not worth seeing. All the films, that is perfect. You cannot say all of the films not required, Kaushal, all the films enough. No, but we cannot use everyone with films, Chauhan. The problem here, no doubt, everyone takes a singular verb. That's why I asked the question, can you use everyone? It is about what? Films. Can you use everyone with films? We cannot. Each of the films would have been better. In place of, there are two ways. I haven't completed. Please let me complete. Each of the films, you can say each of the films is different, but the meaning is does not go with the context. You got it? Yes. Each of the films is different. But here it talks about all the films are not worth, suggested by someone, not worth seeing. Better expression based on the context. All the films you suggested are not worth seeing. Contextually, grammatically correct. Please go to question number 5, the last question related to error location. The secretariat comprises of many air conditioned rooms. I'm sure you will be able to answer this. Some of these questions may look familiar. There is a reason behind. Context may be the same, but the rule is important here. Same, based on the same rule, they may ask a question. They may change the example. That's a different thing. Exactly. You can say consist of. Everyone knows this. Based on this, some students think comprise of. Consist of, no problem. Comprise does not take the preposition of. Based on that, the secretariat comprises of is not required. If you wish, you could say consists of, nothing wrong with that. But here, strike off the preposition of. The secretariat comprises many air conditioned rooms. Perfect. Exactly, Chauhan. You're right. Only comprises, that's enough. This is an important one. When I bring questions based on the rules, based on the context, I bring. In the exam, based on the same rules, they may ask questions, but examples change. Now we have 5 questions related to sentence improvement. She sat on the tree to protect herself from the rain. Sat on the tree. I will underline the phrase, you decide right or wrong. It is correct, no improvement. It is not correct, one of the options. You can use one again because it's a new set, 5 questions based on sentence improvement. When you say she sat on the tree, that does not sound correct. That means you cannot choose no improvement. Sat upon the tree, more or less one and the same. Before the tree, it does not serve the purpose. Sat under the tree, answer is a third option. Under the tree, then it is like, I hope it looks like a tree. Under the tree. So it provides a shelter. But on the tree, upon the tree, before the tree, they don't go with the context. Someone has tampered with my lock. This under pressure, this question not easy. Here, let me underline the word. You have to decide whether it is right or wrong. Right, no improvement, wrong, one of the options. No, you cannot use in. In the tree, not practically possible. You have to look at someone has tampered with my lock. Here, the clue for you, lock. Things, objects, gadgets also. We use the word tamper. Tamper means to fiddle with it, to play with it, to spoil it, tamper, spoil in a way. Someone has the sentence is in present perfect. Nothing wrong with the sentence, but for the word temper. Temper is not correct. Trampled. Trample goes with elephants. Step heavily. Step heavily. And that goes with elephants. The elephant trampled. Then tampered is the answer. Tethered also not the right word. Here you have to recollect uh, one particular expression based on temper. Have you heard of temper tantrums? I had to face his or her temper tantrums. What is the meaning of temper tantrums? Temper tantrums means some people they try to behave in an odd manner. Sometimes a good mood, sometimes a bad mood, sometimes very angry, sometimes very happy, taking out the frustration on others. Then we use the expression, don't show me your temper tantrums. I will not accept your temper tantrums. It goes with conversational English. Let us go to question number 3, sentence improvement. That to contact doctor, attempts were made. Whole sentence has to be considered. Please go to question number 3. Understand the context. This is based on, purely based on context, and one more thing, usage. To contact doctor, attempts were made. The doctor were made, grammatically not correct. The doctor were attempts. Doctor singular, you cannot use the verb in the plural form. Attempts were made to contact the doctor. Here, to contact doctor, attempts were made. That does not sound right. The focus should be on attempts. What is the subject here? Attempts. Attempts were made to contact the doctor. This is in past tense, passive voice. We made attempts to contact the doctor, active voice. Attempts were made to contact the doctor, passive voice. Hope you guys got it. Answer is a third option. Question number 4, sentence improvement. I feel, the whole sentence has to be considered. I feel out of sort today. I feel of sort today. I feel out of sorts today. I feel out of sort this day. This is based on what I call idiomatic expression. Idiomatic, idiom. There's one idiom. Based on that, the question has been framed. Kaushal says second option. Let others also respond. I feel of sort is not correct. I feel out of sort is also not correct. I feel out of sort this day. That is not correct. I feel here out of sorts. Yes, answer is the second option. Out of sorts means slightly unwell, not well. Out of sorts means not well. Answer is the second option. That is an idiomatic expression. Last question based on sentence improvement. The office is soon to be closed. This goes with conversational English, standard expression. If you are exposed to the language, you can answer this. Otherwise, it becomes a little difficult to answer. The office is soon to be closed, or do you say soon to be closed or about to be closed? Yes, very good. Venkatesh and Ja, Chauhan, Shalini, almost all the students. Very good. About to be closed. The office is about to be closed. We cannot say soon to be, just to, where to. About to be closed. Perfect. We have 5 questions based on fillers. Fillers, do remember you have to use your grammar knowledge. vocabulary knowledge, and also contextual awareness. Context is very important. All the three things are important when it comes to fillers: grammar, vocabulary, contextual awareness. Read the first one. People from and near came to see the final match of the tournament yesterday. This is again based on exposure to the language. I use this quite often: exposure to the language. Then you may ask, sir, how do we get exposure to the language? There are two sources. One is you have to listen a lot. Second, read a lot. In our country, once you go out, it is not English. English is not a mother tongue. People use a regional language or the national language, Hindi. So, listening to good English, rare in our country. You have only one option to get exposed to the language. What is that option? Read. Read a lot. And read what? Obviously, the newspaper, the Hindu paper. Then, all these are very easy questions. People from far and near, that's a standard phrase you come across in the newspapers, magazines quite often. Distance and near, it is not correct. Long and near, not correct. Above, not at all correct. Far and near, that is a standard phrase. Far and near. Easy, easy to answer. If you know that, otherwise, not easy. The railway coaches by the Integral Coach Factory, Chennai. This is also easy, but here, as I said, three things you have to look at: grammar, vocabulary, context. The railway coaches by the Integral Coach Factory, Chennai. Here, coaches, plural, using your grammar knowledge, you can eliminate first one and the fourth one. It should be either the second one or the third one. Are manufactured, are manufacture, not the third one. Here, someone manufactures. The railway coaches, Integral Coach Factory manufactures the railway coaches. So that is present tense active voice. When you change it to passive voice, the railway coaches are manufactured by the Integral Coach Factory. Which tense is this? Present tense. And it is in passive voice. Integral Coach Factory manufactures the railway coaches, active voice. The railway coaches are manufactured by the Integral Coach Factory, passive voice. And the sentence is in present tense. This analysis is very important from the exam point of view. The resort is, this is the easiest one, should not be a problem. The resort is the lake. What is the answer? Question number 3. It is from the lake, does not make any sense. Is has grammatically not acceptable. Besides the lake, this question has been framed on two words which come under, they confuse candidates a lot. Besides. Besides means what? In addition to. I teach English, I teach only English. As an example, I'm telling. I teach English besides French. Means what? I teach English, I teach French. But beside means next to. In this context, it is next to. Where is the resort? The resort is beside the lake. Answer is the fourth option. I hope you guys have chosen the fourth option. No, not besides, beside. I teach English besides French means what? I teach English in addition to French. But here the context, there is a lake. Next to lake, there is a resort. So where is the lake? This is the lake. And where is the resort? The resort is next to the lake. I hope you guys got it. The revolting players and the game's administrators held discussions to resolve the payment dispute. The revolting players revolt to go against the authority. The revolting players and the game's administrators held discussions to resolve the payment dispute, resolve to find out a solution. One of the meanings: unnecessary, obligatory, preliminary, silent. This is purely based on contextual awareness, the context. So, what is the answer? Question number 4. Held what? Discussions, noun. You have to use an adjective before a noun. Unnecessary discussions. Can you say that based on the context? I don't think so. It cannot be unnecessary. Obligatory. There's no obligation as such. In this context, we cannot use the word obligatory discussions. It is the third option. Silent is ruled out, ridiculous. Preliminary discussions. Again, based on exposure to the language, contextual awareness, discussions, we also use a word. Here you can say preliminary, also initial. Preliminary here means what? Initial discussions. Preliminary is a right word. You may ask, so how do we know? As I said, when you read the newspapers regularly, many of these questions you can answer effortlessly, one reading. But you don't read the newspapers, then it becomes to some extent difficult because you may not know the context. And if you are not aware of the context, not aware of the word combinations, the lexical terms, then it becomes a wild guess, unnecessary, obligatory. Everything seems right except the fourth option, silent. But if you are exposed to the language, one reading, you have a look at the options, you know for sure answer is the third option. And there won't be any ambiguity. You feel very confident. This is the answer. Let us go to the last question based on fillers. The police pushed the people back to make for Prime Minister's car to pass. This is also based on exposure, exposure to the language. And when you read the newspapers, particular newspaper regularly, before you see the options, you know which option, which word has to go into that. You will reach that stage. Some students say second option, some say third option. No, here the police pushed the people back to push the people back. Why? Here you ask the question why? To make way. What is the reason? Why did the police push the people back to make way for Prime Minister's car to pass? Answer is it is not passage, it is not place, it is not area. There's a standard expression, make way for someone. Make way, that is one combination, a standard expression. How do you know if you ask, read the newspapers, then all these questions you can answer effortlessly. Make way for the Prime Minister, make way for the chief guest, make way for the VIPs. Standard expression we use regularly. Make way for someone. I don't know how many of you are really serious about the exam. I am sure you're all very serious. But do remember, any competitive exam, you're competing with others. When it comes to competitive exams, I always tell my students, you don't have to be the best. You have to be better than others. Mark my words. You don't have to be the best. You should be better than others. And that means you should have the competitive edge. There's one expression I use regularly, competitive edge. You should have the competitive edge. What is this competitive edge? 90% candidates do something. You also do the same thing. There's no competitive edge. But 10%, they do what these candidates do, plus something more they do. Then they have the competitive edge. What is that? reading the newspapers, and they don't leave any stone unturned. They get selected because they have the competitive edge. Try to always have the competitive edge while preparing for competitive exams. When it comes to narration speech, first and foremost, you have to look at the reporting verb. Then only you can decide where the error is. Said, it is related to a statement, it is in past. Then you have to tell yourself here the tense is changed to a corresponding past tense. I'm unwell, present tense. Present changes to past. Based on that, Kumar said that he had been, that is past perfect. He is, present tense. He has been, present perfect. Kumar said that he was unwell, past tense. Here, what are the changes? Present changes to past. Why does it change from present to past? Because the reporting verb is in past. Tenses change to a corresponding past tense. Please go to question number 2. Rahim said, I will have completed my project. Always focus on the reporting verb said. Reporting verb. It is in past. Then you have to tell yourself tenses change to a corresponding past tense. All the future tenses will or shall, they change to would. That is a clue. And you have to look for the option where you find would. You see would here, would here. There is no would ruled out. There is no would ruled out. It has to be either the first option or the second option. Rahim said that he would complete his project. I will complete changes to he would complete. But here, I will have completed. Then he would have completed. Answer is the second option. And which tense is this? Please answer my question. Future perfect tense. I will have completed the syllabus by March. That is future perfect. What is the use of future perfect tense? We use it to express an action that will be over or that will be completed by a given time in future. Something will be over by a given time in future. For that, we have to use future perfect tense. Where do you live? Said the stranger. Said again, reporting verb, it is in past. Here, where do you live? That is a question and it is in present. Then you got to be alert. Questions in indirect speech not easy. So many changes you have to take into consideration. Please answer question number 3. Second option. Where do you live? Present tense changes to past tense. Interrogative, question changes to affirmative. If there is a question word, we have to repeat the question word. And it's a question, you have to use words like asked, inquired, wanted to know, inquired. Here you have inquired, past, said, past. You cannot use a reporting verb is in present, ruled out. Should be either the first one or the third one. The stranger inquired where I lived, where I had been living. No, not correct. Here, present changed to past. The stranger asked me where I lived, or the stranger inquired where I lived. Answer is the first option. To answer these questions, you got to be very good at tenses. If you're good at tenses, easy to answer. 2 topics. One is voice, the other one is speech. She does not sing classical songs. Oh, this is related to voice. She does not sing classical songs. When it comes to active voice and passive voice, you have to think of first, you have to identify the tense. Which tense is this? It is present. Present tense. She does not sing classical songs. She does not sing what? Classical songs. You have to start with classical songs. Classical songs were, but it is in present. Based on that, Classical songs are not sung by her. Clean. What is this clean? Where is the word clean? Swapna Reddy. What is this? Where is the word clean? Classical songs are not sung by her. The next question also, it is based on voice. I have played football with my friends of mine at the ground. What is a given sentence? I play football. Which tense is this? Present. Based on that, you have to look at the verbs. Sing, sang, sung. Any sentence in passive voice, the main verb should be in past participle form. What is the verb here? Sing, sang, sung. Any sentence in passive voice, the main verb should be in past participle form. Based on that, sung. Classical songs are not sung by her. We have to use the past participle form. I hope you got it, Burman. I play football. I have played football. Here, football is played. All these don't make any sense. Once you know the tense, within no time you can get the correct option. I play football, football is played. There ends the matter. By me with my friends at that ground, you don't have to look at those words. Save your time. We have questions based on active voice and passive voice, 5 questions. Can she write an interesting story? Can she write an interesting story? Again, questions in passive voice, not that easy. You have to look at the options very carefully. Can she write an interesting story? You have to start with can, you cannot use could, it is ruled out. Whenever you see a sentence with a helping verb, look for be written. But there are 3 options. Can an interesting story be written for her? For or by, what will you say? To, no. By her. Can an interesting story be written by her? That is the answer. Very good. Answer is the third option. The girls ate a mango yesterday. First, you have to identify the tense. Ate a mango. Which tense is that? Past tense. Then you have to look for was eaten. Is eaten, present, ruled out. Being goes with continuous tenses, not correct. Been goes with perfect tenses, not correct. Was eaten, only one option, that is the answer. Was eaten. The girls ate a mango. A mango was eaten by the girls. As easy, as simple as that. Your manners irritate me. Which tense is this? Present tense. Your manners irritate me. Once you know the tense, it becomes very easy to answer. Do remember. Question number 3, what is the answer? Yes. I am irritated by my manners. No. Manners are irritating. No. Being goes with continuous tenses. What is the answer? I am irritated by your manners. Your manners irritate me. I am irritated by your manners. Answer is the fourth option. Ideas are generated by group discussions. Are generated. That means present, present tense, passive voice. You have to look for present tense, active voice. Once you know the tenses, you understand the context, within no time, you can get the correct option. Ideas are generated by group discussions. You have to start with group discussions, generated past, generate ideas present, have generated present perfect. Discussions plural, you cannot say generates. So what is the answer? Obviously, answer is the second option. Group discussions generate ideas. Ideas are generated by group discussions. Simple. Questions in passive voice not easy. So try to get this one right. Try to get it correct. Who is singing such a sweet song? Who is singing such a sweet song? Who is this? This is the last question, unfortunately. Who is singing such a sweet song? You have to start with by whom. And here, who is singing? Which tense is this? Present, continuous. Any continuous tense in passive voice, you have to look for the word being. You don't find being here, and being is not there, being is not there. Only one option has the word being, that is the answer. By whom is such a sweet song being sung? All of you remember, any continuous tense in passive voice, you have to look for the word being. Being goes with continuous tenses. Being goes with perfect tenses. And always remember, any sentence in passive voice, the verb, main verb should be in past participle form. Take these for granted, irrespective of the tense. That's all for today. Hope you guys have got enriched. 25 questions based on exam topics. Grammar based, there are 5 exam topics. I've touched all the 5. And it is going to be 7:30 from tomorrow. Hope the time slot is okay for you guys. Thank you very much for being with me till 12 past 8. Good night to all of you, and I'll see you tomorrow.